What if you are an artist and you don't know it? Welcome back to a Better Philosophy Towards Art podcast. This is episode number 6. In this episode, we will talk about a better philosophy towards interpreting art. I'll say this in the start: interpreting art is a power. It's something one can use to guide themselves, it's something one can use to understand the situation they are in, it's something one can use to enhance their creativity. It's something they can use to find more fulfillment and meaning in their lives. I call it a power because life is happening to everyone at all times. But knowing when to put on the lens of art to distinguish yourself from the world or to distinguish your life from other people's life is a unique skill and a unique ability. It takes practice and it takes experience to develop that perspective. I feel that with time and experiences, people can develop perspective. And when we are able to mix and match different perspectives and find maybe the humor in a situation, or maybe find meaning in what seems very normal, that would come under the criteria of interpreting art. Interpreting art does require a certain amount of introspection, and introspection would mean understanding yourself, understanding the things around you, understanding how you react to certain situations. All this helps you develop perspective, and perspectives are the lens through which you can view the world. So, I'm trying to help you find a perspective. I could also say that a certain amount of time spent on a perspective can help you form a philosophy. You may be noticing that at the end of each episode, I'm giving out a certain philosophy. The philosophy of keeping an open mind, or the philosophy of slowing down, of being carefree and unapologetic. Similarly, even while you're interpreting art, keeping perspective is the philosophy we need to adhere to. Once we accept and understand that we are essentially temporary beings on this planet, and even the greatest artworks are going to fade. They may take years or centuries, but eventually everything is going to fade. We might even be forgotten for most part. What the world will remember of us might be nothing as compared to what we have experienced. And accepting this perspective or this fact as a bitter truth, so to say, helps us interpret art better. Because if all is lost, then what is still left? When we look at things from this perspective, say even your day or your work or your project, if all is lost, if all that you're holding on to, if all that you are treasuring, if all that you think of very deeply and closely is lost, whatever remains is essentially what you've got. And if we are able to, with some lens or perspective, find contentment and happiness with what remains, I can say that you have found a perspective or a philosophy towards art. You've found a better philosophy towards art. For example, if you want a lot of friends and you really sit down and be real with yourself and ask yourself how many friends really are going to stay for you versus how many friends are going to do their own thing, you'll find that a small group of people will stay for you and most of the people will do their own thing. When you come to terms with the reality that people have their own lives to look after too, and what you do have is in fact not exactly what you want, but if you find a way to be happy with what you have, you are in essence going to feel happy. It's all a perception and an illusion. So all I am asking of you, or all I am helping you do, is put the lens of art in the middle of your reality and you, so that you find that you find that missing link. You link your life with art, or you link your situation with art. You interpret it in such a way that it holds more meaning for you, and the factors that you really want to enjoy, you're still able to enjoy despite not having them, because you are bringing art as your lens. You're viewing the world through art. And this could be even watching sports, watching the news, watching adventure activities, watching theater, whatever forms of art form are available around you, and interpreting it in such a way that it helps you replace or fill in the void of some factors which you're not able to completely grab a hold of. So this is something interpreting art can help you do and can help you find meaning in your life. That's the power of interpreting art. Another thing I would like to say is finding trusted art directors or patrons for your work. If you are an artist, if you are someone who is very passionate about a project of your own, I recommend that you find a trusted art director. And an art director over here can have various associations. It can be a friend who's your art director. It could be a professional, someone who's a professional who's guiding you as an art director. It could be a teacher or a role model. Basically, it is someone who's not that concerned about your project as much as you are, because we get emotional when we think about our art projects. Someone who is reassuring to a certain degree, because most of the motivation should be internal, not external. But when we lag or when we slack, there's someone who reassures us about our project and about our mission. Someone who discourages unnecessary thoughts, which means that when you get discouraged in your project, this person or group of people, they direct you towards what is working. They tell you what's practical, they tell you what's necessary, they tell you how to go ahead and move on. And finally, they help you get to making your work. They give you enough space to be. They give you enough space to doubt yourself, but still persuade you to trod on, to carry on. So that's the role of an art director. I'm calling it art director because we are talking about interpreting art. So their role is to keep perspective while you are making art. And I said this, that a better philosophy towards interpreting art is keeping perspective. So when you are personally making art, having an art director is a very good idea. Finding an art patron is also a very good idea because the patron supplies you with enough resources so that you do not struggle or compromise on the quality of your work. I will speak a little more about this in the coming episodes. I hope you are enjoying this podcast series titled A Better Philosophy Towards Art. This was episode 6. In episode 7, we will talk about a better philosophy towards accepting art and the various ways in which we can accept art better. Until next time, see you soon. Thank you for listening to A Better Philosophy Towards Art podcast. This podcast has been crafted at Manic Pod Studios in Chembur, Mumbai. Your sound engineers are Rohit Das and Mainak Chakraborty. Your producers are Vedant Naik and Arnav Dogra. Don't forget to check out my Instagram page in the description below and also give Manic Pod a follow for more fun podcasting content. See you in the next episode.